Hi there, my name is Ronnie Mickle, and I'm the owner and founder of NotaryStars.com. And I'm here with Gary Chu out of Santan Valley, Arizona. He is our latest certified notary signing professional who just passed our tests. And I want to do this interview so that the world can get to know Gary Chu. So, Gary, welcome and congratulations.
Thank you, Ronnie.
So, I want to start out right away asking you what made you or drew you into the world of becoming a notary?
Um, Basically, I spent 20 years underwriting for a couple different mortgage companies, and it was just to me, it was just a natural progression. Okay, I retired, and I'm still healthy, still still legitimate, not legitimate, but still want to work. I want to get a little bit of extra income on the side, and it just kind of naturally flows from being an underwriter to being a notary, a loan signing professional is what I focus on in notary work. But um, pretty much do any kind of notary work. Actually, I've done a lot of crazy things that are notary wise, but from putting lock boxes on houses to filming the inside of houses to just verifying, hey, this house is tied down, has a hurricane strap on it underneath. I've done a lot. It's interesting work. It keeps you busy. I like it. And I just it's fun. Let me just put it that way. It's just simple and easy. It's fun.
Now, I have a question for you coming from the world of underwriting when it comes to moving over into the world of notary. So, for those who don't know, underwriters basically tell lenders what they can and cannot do, and title companies what they can and cannot do, what's legal and what's not legal, and kind of watch those things. When you took our certified notary signing professional exam, how did you feel about the education that we were putting out there? Coming from the other side of the fence, how did you feel about this test?
If you go back a little bit, before I was actually an underwriter, I was actually a mortgage loan officer working for a brokerage company. Before that, I was actually a processor. So I've seen all the documents. I've seen them change over the years and things like that. What I never saw, and what's good about your course, is the other side of the product when the actual documents are printed and go out to the lender, or well, to the borrower, and the end product as far as who signs what's a certified, what you need to certify, how it needs to be certified, how it needs to be notarized, how it needs to be signed. I mean, there's a lot of things, and if I go back, um, just knowing what needs to be signed. Um, as far as like, I'm just going to throw some examples at you what I learned real quick. That um, the course to me was awesome. It clarified a lot of things that I wasn't aware of. Number one, when somebody's signing as an individual or a trust, um, you know, they can sign as when it has individual or trust, they can sign as an individual. When it has just trust, then it has to be with their name, comma trust. I didn't know that. When there's receipts at the end of the package, I always thought they were just there just for good measure. I didn't realize that the borrower actually needed to sign and date those. So, just it's just constant. Every time I know I'm kind of veering off from you, and I apologize, Ryan. Like I
You're
said, I do
fine.
talk a lot, but it taught me a lot of different things, and it's constant. Every time I watch the courses on Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday night, I always learn something. I always pick up something. I go, God, yeah, I should have done that, or yeah, that's what I did, and it reinforces what I do. But and at the same time, it just kind of says, hey, you should have done this. So does that make
Now,
sense?
yes, it does. Now, you mentioned something that we brought to Notary Stars this year, and that's, also delving into the world of inspections or these other types of assignments. When you decided to go into becoming a notary, did you have any idea all of the things you could do as a notary or as a business owner that, has a lot of free time? Did you understand that there was, estate planning and apostille work and remote online notary and field inspections? Did you understand all of those things
No,
when you decided to come.
never did. Never knew that was in the world of notary work. And to be honest with you, um, once you start advertising and you get your name out there, I've had attorneys call me to come notarize trust signings and will trust signings. I've had field inspections where I've taken a couple of field inspections. It's just easy. It's really easy stuff. I've been on the way from home from dropping off a package, and I've had a field inspection uh, come over on SnapDocs. I don't know if you want me to say SnapDocs or not, but it was on the way home, and I said, "Yeah, I'll do it." And the lady called me up, and she's talking to me on the phone, and she just wanted me to go knock on a door, and she sent me a letter to take with me up to the door. And of course, I got my printer in my back of my car, and I just printed it out and put it in there. And she had me stop a couple blocks from the house, and she goes, "Okay, I'm going to send you a link now, and you just take this link." It was from Aspen. I don't know if you ever did anything from that. She goes, "I just want you to walk up to the house, and I can see everything, and I'm going to be snapping pictures with your camera. So just walk up to the house, kind of look around, and I have my earbuds in, and I'll tell you what you need to do." Perfect. Okay. Walked up, knocked on the house. As soon as she heard the voice, she said, "That's not him. Go ahead, let's leave," and just apologized to him. And I left. And she said, "Thanks a lot." And I got a check in the mail. I'm saying, "Wow, that was pretty easy. I like that." Since I've started doing things like that, I get just crazy stuff. "Hey, can you go put this lock on this door for this realtor down in Coolidge?" "Yeah, I can do that." And
Now,
she goes, "Well, yeah, I could talk a lot." She goes,
no,
"Just
no,
go
no.
over to Home Depot, pick it up. We got it already paid for over there. Just give them the number. It's a pickup. You pick up the lock and zip down there to Coolidge and just put it on the door." So, um, and I got free time because, like I said, I don't work anymore. And
That's what I
this
wanted
is
to ask you about. So, you're in official retirement, correct?
yes, yes.
So,
And
this has got to be like one of the most perfect things that you could do. Like if you were looking for something to do, as a officially retired, you're living my dream life where you're retired, but then you still want to do things. Um, it's not just about busy. Do you feel that it kind of fills your world with, like things to actually think about other than just, busy work? I think that's one of the most important parts of retirement. I look at my father and my mother, and my dad has things to do around the yard and all of those things, but he's actually said a couple of times, I need to find something more stimulating, here than just stimulating physically. Especially when you live out in a more country area. Not that Santan's a country area, but do you find that notary also keeps you busy mentally, as well as getting moving around and all of that stuff? Not just physically busy, but mentally busy.
right, right. Definitely. That's one of the things I like about it. Um, it does keep you sharp. I mean, I'm constantly reviewing things, making sure I want to make sure I notarize documents correctly. So I'm constantly reviewing that. Matter of fact, I got a couple books here that I just got from the NNA on 5 steps to a flawless notarization, and I got your accidental notary book here. And you just constantly, I don't know how you are. I just constantly want to get better. I want to make sure I
Mhm.
know what I'm doing when I go to somebody's house and there's nothing that's going to pop up that I have no idea what I'm doing. Um, and I just I want to be able to do that. The other thing I like about it, it's flexible. I mean, I don't have to, but I like it. I mean, yeah, why not? Why not stop by and knock on the door for $40?
What other interests do you have? Do you have interest in servicing hospitals or jails or um, any of
Um,
those types of
I
things?
do, I do. I don't want to, like I said, I like to make sure I know what I'm doing and I'm aware of what I'm doing and I'm trying to think of the right term, but I just want to make sure I know what I'm doing when I say, hey, I do hospitals and stuff. So I haven't really ventured off into that right now. I just got my RON, and so I am a remote online notary, um, and I want to get good at that. And I also want to work on the apostille side of the house. But again, I want to get good at that before I start really getting into that a lot.
Well, we've got you covered outside of your Certified Notary Signing Professional exam. We also, we partnered with Laura Beaver this year. She's got her estate planning course, but we've got a whole journey for specialty notary work at Notary Stars. So don't just stop in the loan signing arena. We've got tons of education there to help you get ready to service hospitals, to service jails. Those things are not certifications because we really cover everything about notarizations in the Certified Notary Signing Professional exam. But don't stop just in the loan signings. We have particular, education. And then of course, Laura just wrote her new book, which I know you said you just have two books on there, The Compassionate Notary, which goes hand in hand with servicing hospitals and things like that. Now, I don't think that there's a jail too close to you over in Santan, is there?
There's actually Florence, which is about maybe 15 miles on Hunt
Okay.
Highway, has,
Okay.
I don't know, five, six types. They got federal prisons over there. They got a state. They got just everything over there. So
I personally love servicing jails. I know a lot of people, have some personal beliefs about servicing jails, but I always look at it that I'm helping the family members, not just the inmate. I'm helping those family members who weren't expecting something like this to happen in life, and they need to take care of things on the outside on behalf of the inmate. I always look at it that way, but I also like servicing jails for another reason, and this is kind of a selfish reason, but a lot of times you are contacted by an attorney's office to go in and get some documents signed, and then that leads to more calls from attorneys. And I think a lot of attorneys don't understand that we can do the legwork for them. We can spend the 45 minutes in traffic driving back and forth and the wait time where they can be servicing their clients in office. So it saves them a lot of time and money. So I really do hope if you can get to those jails and make sure that you can get into them, that you'll add that in. You know, especially, when you go in to do a jail signing, it's a lot harder to go back and make a correction if you need to, because then you have to travel back to the jail, then you have to wait, then you have to get everything done. Coming from the underwriter side, I will tell you that, I look forward to working with you. I know that you've been working with me at Unlimited Ink Notary as well at my signing service side, because I've seen your name at least on a few files when it comes to going out and servicing loans. If you had to tell someone that wanted to hire you, right now, let's just say for loan signings, what is the one thing that you would tell them about your services when it comes to being hired as a signing agent?
one of the things that I take pride in is I am very knowledgeable. I'm very knowledgeable in the documents and so forth, and what their meanings are and what they're used for. I'm very competent. I've definitely studied and reviewed and taken a lot of courses on the actual notarization of the documents and signing of the documents. I don't have a problem with that. I'm very timely. And I like to make just one trip. That's my goal. One trip, one and done. I want to be one and done, and I'm constantly learning. The different documents, they do change. Constantly learning different types of notarizations and signing opportunities that are out there. So if you need somebody that you can trust, because I am definitely trustworthy, and depend on, then I'm your guy. That's what I would tell you.
When I'm teaching loan documents, and I haven't in quite a long time, now that we have Miss Beth, who is a wonderful, wonderful instructor. Um, I used to say I like to play a little game with the documents called "They Won't Get Me," because um, when you go for a loan signing, I find it to be a really great, rewarding career. You get to meet a lot of people, but there's always that moment in your early days as a notary, or at least for me, 15 years ago, when I would, think my day was going perfect, and then I'd get this little, "You have a notary error" email, and that's always like the, got to go back and fix this right away. Um, I like to play a little game with the documents called They Won't Get Me. And I do feel that, uh, our course allows, I know Miss Beth teaches from the same perspective that I do of, actually looking at the document, making sure that we understand what it's used for, which is something that you meant, or something that you said, and then making sure that the most important part that that we've captured that date, signature, does it require an initial on the document, and then make sure that it's notarized properly. And what a lot of people think that our job is just placing a stamp and wielding our pen, but it's actually not. I mean, we actually give a lot of customer service to the signers when we go to those tables. you know I think when we're able to give them a perfect gist of what this document is, it helps put the customers at ease, without crossing any legal lines, just letting them know what this document is, what's it used for. That tends to shorten that signing experience, a lot when someone can have someone that they trust, like a notary, at that table saying, "Hey, this is this document. This is what it means. This is where you're going to sign when you're ready." And then if it requires notarization, making sure that they notarize properly. I feel when you get that flow down, in my mind, and I know that you will, and coming from the side that you're on and already seeing the difference between the two different sides of the fence, I think you'll be a really great candidate. Having both sides of the knowledge of the of where are they coming from and what do I have to do with this? I think that adds up to like a great signing agent. And I really hope that people are watching this and will decide to hire you. Now, I know that I've hired you at Unlimited Inc. and we've had, great experiences with you. What do you think your goal as a signing agent is in the long run? What is your vision for, 2 years from now, 5 years from now?
Um, my vision is and I'm just it's my short-term vision is just to be competent. I want to be competent at everything I touch. Um, I want to become a very competent and trustworthy loan signing agent first. It's my goal. Um, I do have other things I'm interested in, like the apostille and the remote online notary. And like you said, depending on how things go and the flow of things, um, I want to expand into hospitals and prisons, looking at retirement homes, things like that. But that's my long-term goal. I want to be in those fields, um, and I want to be competent. So I don't want to just jump into all of them right now at
Gotcha.
one time. I want to become. It's just step by step. I just want to take my time, be very confident, be very trustworthy, be very, very good. And then while I'm doing that, I want to go ahead and prepare myself to expand. But I've already laid it out. Loan signing agent, apostille, um, trust, and then the hospital slash, I call it the hospital slash prisons because there's a couple of hospitals that are less than a mile away, and the prisons there's probably about six. I don't know if the prisons need it more than the jail or vice versa, but I know there's a jail over there too. So
Prisons
um,
prisons can be a little bit harder to get into, especially if it's a federal prison. Sometimes you have to be on a special list if you're going to do things like that. So you do have to like research that. We have all of that information available for, in the specialty notary work with your membership. But you mentioned something that also I want to make sure that we capture here as a remote online notary. Now, I know you're just starting with that and you're just getting your bearings with remote online notary, but it doesn't take that long to get your bearings with it. And so, and don't get me wrong, it doesn't take that long to get your bearings with it. However, it is like going from driving, a Honda Civic to, very nice sports car. You're getting in and it's pressing the gas to go a little bit faster with the job, which is what Ron really is supposed to do is save money and streamline. But I do want to let people know that are watching this that you can service customers, any US citizen or foreign national anywhere in the world as long as you are located right here in Arizona. So I want to make sure people know that when they watch this, and hopefully you'll update this video for your profile, because we put these on your profile so people can get to know you. But I hope that you will come back and update this video in the future because being able to service people now, It's hard to service through remote online notary in the hospital. It's hard. It's almost virtually impossible to do it at jails because they don't have access to computer systems and that sort of thing. But you said you were going to go into apostille, and here in Arizona, we can actually notarize documents online. Now, of course, vital records, you can't, you have to take them in directly to the state, but you can do apostille through remote online notary. So you can have your document notarized through remote online notary. You can be the notary, and then you can take that directly to the Secretary of State and get them a more streamlined turnaround time just by taking those documents in. So I want to make sure people know that you have an asset there. And, let's just say someone's in Delaware and they are, happen to be watching this and they're, adding people to their list. For a customer in Delaware, if they need something processed same day, it's $1,000, I think, to get it done within like 1 hour. Here in Arizona, if you were to do that document through a remote online notary and you have the ability to get down to the Secretary of State's office, you're looking at a $25 walk-in fee plus the $3 per documents and plus whatever you charge as a runner. You're able to go and get those documents done. So you have a lot of expanding that you can do with remote online notary, and I look forward to seeing that evolve as well. I know that you're now have access to my marketing class and those sorts of things on this membership
Yeah, I
level.
do.
So I look forward to helping you, evolve with your capabilities. Our stamps that we carry here used to only be able to go, 10 to 15, 25 miles from the home if you're willing to travel with them. Now our stamps are located in this device here, and they can service customers as long as they are, a foreign national or a U.S. citizen, which lots of people from around your area, you're Santan Valley, there's tons of people around you. As you meet your clients, those who are traveling out of the country, you want to make sure that they know, hey, if you get somewhere, you're going out of the country or whatever, as long as you have your ID with you, I can be able to notarize documents for you. So I've started telling people, and I hope people will do this with you when they choose you to work with you, is I tell them don't even store me as Ronnie because they might forget my name. Store me as my notary in your phone, and when they call, they can just call, their note my notary, or if they send it to someone else, it'll say my notary from them. So I look forward to seeing you evolve in that arena too. You know, with loans, it's getting there, but for the general public, remote online notarization is such a great asset, not only to a notary, but to the community. So I wanted to make sure anybody looking to hire you understands that your capability is about to get even bigger.
Right. That's what I'm hoping. That's
All
what I'm
right.
hoping. Uh, yep, yep. Sounds good to me.
Well, Gary, I want to say, first of all, congratulations. I happen to know because I listened to Beth go back and forth with Kirsten and Travis for over a year putting this test together for Certified Notary Signing Professional. There were points where we were like, will anybody be able to pass this? But we wanted to make sure that when we put our name or our logo on someone else's work, that we know that they were able to, truly understand the concepts, especially when it comes to signing loans or large documents or important documents, that when we put our logo and say we endorse this person, that they actually have a comprehension of what they're doing. Now, you're one of the very first. We've been around for 7 years, but this is the first year that we've actually had this certification. And so you're one of the very first. So I would love for you to go out there and wave your certification like a flag, make sure it's uploaded to signing order. We send you over to Signature Closers, and there's two other major companies this year that are going to be, looking for or accepting our certification. So you do want to make sure you put that everywhere and let people know, hey, I have additional education to be able to help you and assist you. It's one thing to want to help people, but it's another thing to have the tools, and education is a tool. So make sure you let your customers know that, hey, I have the tools and the knowledge to be able to assist you. And, I've mentioned this before and I'll say it again. And I know that you will because you sound like someone who's very interested in education. But, um, when I graduated my master's degree for adult education, Condoleezza Rice spoke and she said, you now have this education, but it's up to you to use it. And so I know that you'll be one of those people who not only gets the education, but then goes out and uses that education. And, that's one of the things I can tell you just from this interview alone. I'm very proud to know you when you said, I just want to be competent and I have these books on my desk. That is the kind of person that I want to work with. That is the kind of person that I want to hire. That is the kind of person that I can trust with my documents. So with that, I'm going to say thank you very much for being that kind of person. And I'm going to take this interview and do what I can with it so that other people will also feel that way about you.
All right.
Hi, friends.
Hola, amigos.
Are you ready to take your notary skills and business to the next level?
We can start from the beginning with setting up your notary business.
Or we can just jump right into perfecting your loan signing agent skills with over 30 different loan products.
And when you're ready to take on online notary,
We got you covered.
We can teach you how to market your notary business locally and nationally.
We're here for you every day, whether it be in live classes
Or on our notary support line.
our goal is your success.
And if you cannot make it to our live classes or webinars, don't worry.
We record everything so it fits in your schedule.
Join us.
Join the family.
Join the movement.
Expand your horizons.
Become a Notary Star.